You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Real quick, guys, before we actually dive into the video today, I meant to actually put this in the video, but we have a new shirt in the merch store. You can support us. You can get your donkey pox shirt. The disease that is destroying America. We're talking about the Democrat Party here. You can get it in multiple colors. And you can also get 25% off by using the discount code USA First. I actually like this army green color right here. You can actually get a better look at it right there. 25% off, guys, if you use the discount code USA First. All right, guys, we're going to be talking about Brittney Griner here in this video, guys. Brittney Griner, as you guys know, facing up to 10 years in prison in a Russian prison for bringing in vape cartridges into Russia. And a trial is actually going on right now. However, there has been a proposal, according to the U.S., for a prisoner swap for Brittney Griner. Now, the word is that we have offered the merchant of death, Viktor Bout. You guys know that. But I don't believe for 1 second that any American would actually think that this should actually happen. This is crazy. The Department of Justice is completely against this. But apparently Joe Biden has signed off on this. And actually Rose did a video earlier that Russia really doesn't even really want Viktor Bout. But let's say that this actually does happen. Is this really fair? I don't think so. But guess who actually does think that this is a fair trade? That would actually be Viktor Bout's lawyer. He was actually on with CNN. This guy is an American, okay? He's an American. And he thinks this is a fair trade. Brittney Griner for Viktor Bout, the merchant of death. This isn't fair, but let's go ahead and react to this video, guys, because this is insane. And I actually have to give CNN credit. The guy that was actually interviewing his lawyer's right there, was kind of like putting some heat on him for this. Let's go ahead and roll it.
Thank you for joining us. First, I've got to ask, have you been kept in the loop about these negotiations, either by the Russian government or the U.S. government?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. Happy to be here today. Kept in the loop is kind of a broad question. Let's just say I do have some information about the progress of how things are going. I'm just not sure. I'm not free to share it with you. But that information comes from the Russian side as opposed to the American side.
That information is coming from the Russian side, and you do believe that progress is being made?
I do, yeah. I'm confident that this is going to get done.
Okay, confident. So what do you make of the Russian government adding Kresakov's freedom to this prisoner swap? I mean, is it in good faith, or does it actually complicate things for your client?
Well, look, I don't know that has actually happened. I know that there's a lot of chatter out there. The thing that you have to understand about this kind of negotiation is there is always going to be some names put on the table, back and forth, who we want, who we don't want. Look, it's part of any prisoner exchange negotiation. The worst thing that happens here is there's just too much what I call megaphone diplomacy on the U.S. side. The Russians are very quiet about it, and the American side, for whatever reason, a lot of folks are talking about it. And I don't mean you folks. I just mean the folks.
Well, actually, it was really the U.S. government, because Anthony Blinken came out and he's actually talked about it. And also the Biden administration has actually talked about Brittney Griner's case. But it was Anthony Blinken who came out and said that, hey, we made Russia a significant offer for Brittney Griner.
Folks on the government side really should not be discussing it.
So given that, do you think that the Russians would make the trade solely for your client, Viktor Bout?
Do I think so? Am I hopeful so? Absolutely, yes. Look, it's no secret. They've been wanting him back for several years now. They've been trying to get him back for decades. That's not something they've ever kept secret.
Why? I mean, your client is a notorious international arms dealer. He's known as the merchant of death. Why do you think he is such a priority for the Russian regime to get him back?
Well, look, the easy answer to that is the most obvious one, and that is, at the time the U.S. government targeted Viktor Bout back in 2005, 2006, he was retired, living in Moscow, no longer in the transportation business.
Transportation business,
correct.
That's your story.
Yeah.
Transportation business. Not the arms business. The transportation business. This is nothing more than his lawyer trying to paint him in a good light.
What do you mean that's my story?
I mean, he's
That's
an arms
true.
dealer, correct?
Well, he transports a lot of things. He transported for the U.S. government, as a matter of fact, back in the 2000s and 1990s.
It's a very delicate euphemism for arms trading.
Well, it's no worse than this merchant of death moniker that you folks in the media have continued to use on him. It's really not so. Frankly, in this country, we have more arms dealers who contribute to mass violence and mass killings in this country and are responsible for more deaths in the U.S. than Viktor Bout ever was.
Well, we'll get you in on that other topic another day. But specifically on this issue, I mean, on the one hand, an international arms dealer, priority for the Kremlin, in exchange for a WNBA player and an American citizen. Does that seem equal to you? Does that seem balanced as an American?
Well, I'm not here as an American. I'm here as Viktor Bout's lawyer.
You're both.
Well, I am, but my primary responsibility, look, in my practice, the clients come first. That's just the way it is. And while I am a patriotic American, I have security clearance. I have had it for almost 20 years, highest levels.
Okay, somebody needs to revoke his security clearance because we all know that this is not a fair trade.
Civilian security clearance an American can have, but I'm here on behalf of Viktor Bout. And do I think it's a fair trade? Yeah. Because Viktor Bout's been in jail for 15 years, almost 15 years. He's been thousands and thousands of miles away from his family. It's time for him to go home. Remember, his crime was a talk crime. No weapons were ever exchanged. No money was ever exchanged. It was a created crime created by the DEA solely so he could be charged in the district in this very city. And then they asked for a life without parole sentence for a talk crime. Remember, nothing ever got exchanged.
Let me ask you this, given that you're in contact with your client, presumably, do you know if he supports Russia's invasion of Ukraine?
Okay, we don't need to go any further than that. This guy, man, seems to be a crackpot lawyer. That's an American, but he's definitely all about Viktor Bout, his clients, more than being an American. Viktor Bout hates America. Viktor Bout supplied arms to terrorists. And he says that this is a fair trade for a WNBA player. This is awful right here. This is completely awful. And this man has a security clearance from the U.S. government. I get that he's a lawyer, but truly deep down inside, he knows that this would be an awful, awful trade. This is not a fair trade. I don't care what this guy says. This is not a fair trade. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to Black and White Sports, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.